Hi everybody, we'll continue with the science chapter. This is the second part of solid, liquid and gases. In this part we will learn how to separate insoluble and soluble substances. Now before that we must understand what is soluble. Okay, I take some water in a glass and then I take some salt. Little salt, you can see, and I put it in the water and I mix it. I keep mixing it, and then after some time you will find that the solid salt particles disappear. You cannot see it anymore. It dissolves. So that is called soluble substance. That means salt is a soluble. Or if you take sugar also and you put it in water and you mix it, okay, you will find that the sugar crystals, they dissolve in water and they disappear. You cannot see it anymore. So then those substances are called, like salt and sugar, are called soluble substances. Now insoluble substances, again I take some water and this time I take a spoonful of sand. I take a spoonful of sand and I put it in the water and I mix it and I keep mixing it. You will notice that the sand does not disappear. It does not dissolve. So then sand particles are called insoluble substances. Okay? And now we will learn how to bring back the soluble substance as well as the insoluble substances. Now, how to separate insoluble substances, like for example sand. Insoluble solids can be separated by sedimentation, decantation and also by filtration. So you need to remember these words: sedimentation, decantation and filtration. Now I'll explain to you one by one at a time. What is sedimentation? Okay, the process by which insoluble substance, that is sand, okay, which I showed you, present in a liquid gradually settles down, is called sedimentation. The insoluble substances at the bottom are called sediments. Let me show it to you again. I take some water and then I take some sand and I put it and I mix it. Keep mixing it. And then after some time you need to leave it on the table. You will find slowly, gradually means slowly, when the sand settles down at the bottom, this process is called sedimentation. The settling down of the heavy particles at the bottom is called sedimentation. And that sand at the bottom are called sediments. What are they called? Sediments. Now how to separate this is the next method, that is decantation. Okay, what is decantation? The process of pouring out the clear liquid, leaving the sediments behind. This sediment which is left behind is called decantation. Okay, I can show it to you. Now sedimentation has taken place. All the sediments have settled down. Now I take another glass and I slowly pour it. Very slowly I pour it. Okay. Now this process of pouring out the clear liquid. Now you can see the clear liquid out here and the sediments remain behind. This process is called decantation, or I am decanting. Okay, pouring out, leaving the sediments behind and the clear liquid. But when you see the liquid, there are small particles still there. Okay. An example, at home, when your mother makes tea in the kitchen, she takes water, she puts tea leaves, and then when she has to pour the tea into a cup, that is the time she leaves it for some time, when she cannot find the strainer. Okay, she leaves it for some time. The tea leaves settle down because they are heavy, and then she pours it. But sometimes the tea leaves also come in. So that is another process we can do. Okay, to take out these finer particles from this clear liquid is called filtration. What is filtration? The process of separating fine insoluble substances from a liquid using a filter paper. Now this is a filter paper. Okay, I have a filter paper. Using this filter paper is known as filtration. Okay, at home when your mother makes tea, she uses a strainer. Okay, and she pours the tea through the strainer, it goes into the cup. All the tea leaves remain in the strainer. So let us see how to separate this finer particles which are still there after decanting. Okay, I take filter paper. Now how to use this? I will fold it into halves. Then another half I fold it, and then I make a cone out of it. Press it and I open one fold I open and I make a cone out of it. This cone I will use it in a funnel. Okay, I place it inside the funnel. See that the paper sticks to the walls of the funnel, and then I use that same water where the fine particles are still there, and I pour it very slowly through the filter paper, just as you pour the tea through the strainer. You will find that very slowly the liquid comes out. Okay, very slowly. Don't pour it too much, or it should not go above the filter paper. Then you will find that the liquid keeps coming down, and then we will see the difference. Let us see the difference. Now if you see this water and see this water, it is slightly milky, and this is much more clearer than this. So using a filter paper, you can filter the fine particles, separate the finer particles. Okay, this is another process. Now we come to how to separate soluble substances. Okay, soluble means sugar, salt, which dissolves in the water, which, as I showed you in the beginning. How to separate? Okay, soluble solids can be separated by evaporation or distillation. Okay, now what is evaporation? It is the process. In this process, the solution is heated till the liquid evaporates, leaving the soluble solids behind. Is called evaporation. Now a diagram is shown here, an image is here, you can see it. Okay, I have salt solution, I mix salt into the water and I put it into a container, and that same container I heat it. All the water evaporates, it goes up into the air as water vapor, and then when the water evaporates fully, then you will find the salt solution remaining. So you get back the soluble salts. Okay. But now what happens here? The water disappears as water vapor into the air. Now if you want the water vapor and the salt, then there is another process called distillation. Now what is distillation? The process of purifying a liquid by boiling it and then condensing. Condensing means cooling. Its vapor is known as distillation. So the same solution you take, salt solution, you put it into a container like this. Okay, this is called a distillation flask. Okay, it has an opening, two openings, the mouth and then another opening. When you heat it, if you block this with a thermometer and a cap, then the steam will come out from here. Okay, when it comes out from here, that is the time you need to trap the steam and condense it. So that condensing means cooling it. How can you cool it? By cold water supply. Okay, cold water comes in and cools the vapor, and this vapor is collected in a flask. And then when the water evaporates fully, you will get back the salts. So this is how you can get back the soluble solid as well as the liquid. Okay. So this is about separating soluble solids. Now, distillation. Now the liquid which you got, remember, is a clear, pure water. Okay. And this water is called distilled water. Now that water you cannot drink. Why? Because it has no minerals in it. It's not suitable for drinking as it does not contain minerals. So that water we usually don't drink it because it has no minerals. It is useless for us. But that water is used in car batteries, laboratories and manufacturing medicines. Okay. Then next we come to air. Okay. Air means a mixture of all gases. Air all around you, we breathe in air. What are the properties of air? Okay. Air occupies space. It is all around us. Air exerts pressure. Air is needed for burning. And air rises on heating. So just remember this. What are the properties of air? 1, 2, 3, 4 points we have here. Okay. And then, what is the composition of air? When you see that, you cannot see air, but you can feel it. Now, what is its composition? Air is a mixture of many gases. Okay? Nitrogen 78%, oxygen 21%, and then 1% all other gases. What are the other gases? For example, carbon dioxide, argon, helium, hydrogen, neon, and it makes up of other things also like water vapor, dust, smoke, okay, which also pollutes the air, dust and smoke. Now, as I said, water vapor is also there. So, that water vapor in the air is also called humidity. So, what is humidity? The amount of water vapor in the air is called humidity. Now, air, we continue. Moving air is called wind. The air that is around you, when it starts moving, then it is called wind. And with a force, when that same air moves, it is called a storm. Okay? When there is thundering and lightning, we call it as thunderstorm. Okay? With a heavy force it moves, then we call it cyclone or typhoons or whatever. There are other names. When it comes with heat and dust during summers, it is called loo. Okay? Slow moving air is called breeze. Now when you sit under a tree, you'll find cool breeze blowing. Okay? That cool air, that is called breeze. Now in the coastal areas, there are two types of breeze. Okay? What are they? Sea breeze and land breeze. Now let us understand sea breeze. What is sea breeze? During the day, land and water gets heated up. Okay? Since the land gets heated up quickly, then water during the day. Okay? So when it heats up, the air also above the land heats up, it rises and creates a vacuum. So that is the time the cold air from the sea comes to occupy that place, moves in. So that is called sea breeze. Let us read it. During the day when land and sea gets heated up, since the land gets heated faster, the air above the land becomes light. So land gets heated up faster, it rises up, creates a vacuum sort of, empty space. So that is the time the cool air from the sea takes its place. The cooler air above the sea moves to the land to fill the space. This is called sea breeze. Let us go to land breeze at night. So sea breeze takes place during day. Land breeze takes place at night, because land at night, when the sea is warmer than the land, the air above the sea rises. Okay? Why? Because it takes a longer time to cool. So the air rises, and then that is the time the breeze from the land takes the place towards the sea. Okay? It occupies that space towards the sea. This is called land breeze. So let us read it again. At night, when the sea comes sea water is warmer than the land. The air above the sea rises up and the air from the land moves towards the sea. This is called land breeze. Okay. The diagram is shown there also. Now, at home, the air which is also there, we breathe in, we breathe out. When we breathe out, that air is warm, so it rises. So at home, when you see the windows, above the windows or above the door, you will find an opening, a smaller window. That window is called a ventilator. Okay? Why do we have ventilators? For ventilation. So what is ventilation? The process by which impure and warm air inside a room is continuously replaced by fresh air from outside is called ventilation. So the warm air goes out and the cold air comes in through the window. Ventilators in a room are at a height, so they are always at a height, they are not down. Why? Because warm air rises up. Exhaust fans also in a kitchen are also fixed at a height to let the warm air move out. So, I would like you all to understand this, read the chapter and try and understand through the video and do the assignments. Thank you.